Francis Schaeffer said, love is the final apologetic. It is the defense for which there is no defense. The Bible tells us we love because He first loved us. Brothers and sisters, you cannot love like this if you have not experienced the love of God. The power of our witness because of the love of Christ is something that you need to understand. I don't know how many of you are aware of the CBS News interview of an ISIS trigger man who became a follower of Jesus. This is his story. This man was trained to kill and shoot Christians. He was taught that to be a Muslim, you must kill the infidels. And that's what he was trained to do. But his life was also threatened. So he was asked to leave Baghdad. And he went to Turkey. When he went to Turkey, he became a spy. He was going to do the same in Turkey, to hunt down Christians. So he attended an evangelical church. He got a shock of his life. When he attended the Christian gathering, they welcomed him. They hugged him. And they began praying for him. And the message was about the love of God. You know what happened to him? As they prayed for him, he experienced the love of God's people, the love of God. And he said he could not explain this, but he began to weep. He began to cry. And my friends, Jesus tells us, by this all men will know you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. Do you know that the early Christians were known because they loved each other? Tertullian wrote 100 years after the gospel was spread all over. He said the pagans described Christians as how they love one another. The Christians were noted for their actions because love is, love does. What kind of behavior? They do not engage in adultery or sexual immorality. They do not bear false witness. Neither do they covet that which belongs to others. They honor father and their mother. That's the meaning of love. You do something. They comfort those who injure them. They are eager to do good to their enemies. Notice they are eager to do good to their enemies. They don't neglect the widow nor oppress the orphans. Such is how they are known. The badge of the early Christians is love. Can you imagine? If followers of Jesus, if all CCFers will learn what Jesus is saying, by this all men will know you are my disciples if you love one another. If we learn to practice love at home, in the office, in our environment, what will happen? People will come to know Jesus. Can I tell you something? Your small group will expand, it will grow. There's no way you can stop people from coming if you and I will learn what Jesus has been talking about. What is very sad for me is I've seen many so-called Christians. They don't love one another. We should be known for our love for each other. However, if you check with the world today, if you check with people who don't know the Lord, what do they think of Christians? They think of Christians as judgmental. They think of Christians as critical. They think of Christians as divisive. They think of Christians as very unloving, self-righteous. As somebody once said, the Christian are the only army in the world that they shoot their own soldiers. We seem to be excited when other Christians fall into sin. We don't grieve. We don't feel sad. We attack each other. Look at your own life. Do we really love difficult people? Can we learn to love people who disagree with us? Can we learn to have a meaningful conversation among families, with your children? If your children don't agree with you, can you have meaningful conversation? And that is something that has been lost because we have forgotten the importance of how to love. Love is so crucial, especially today. People are looking for love. And God wants you to be the conduit. God wants us to be the distributor of His supernatural love. I pray that your life, your family, and your workplace will experience the overflowing love of God. And my prayer is for CCF to be known for love. And my prayer is for the whole world to realize Christians are known for love. Have you experienced the love of God? I always enjoyed this song. These are the lyrics of the song. Could we with ink the ocean fill, and were the skies of parchment made, where every stalk on earth a quill, and every man a scribe by trade, to write the love of God above would drain the ocean dry, nor could the scroll contain the whole, though it stretched from sky to sky. This song tells us that the love of God is beyond our comprehension. But can I tell you something? Once you experience this love, you will never be the same. Is it possible that you are not able to love your loved ones? It is because you have not experienced God's love. Is it possible you grew up with a Christian background, cultural Christianity, but you never had a real encounter with the love of God? You see, in my case, I was headed in the wrong direction. And then one day, I encountered Jesus. I experienced His forgiveness. When I understood His forgiveness, His love for me, my life took a new direction. And that new direction is all about Him loving me, and I'm responding in love. My prayer is this. You may have been going to church. You have been attending church for many years. But God's love is lacking. You're not able to love. You know what is right, but you're not able to express this love. The greatest enemy of love is selfishness, self-centered. I want to give you an opportunity today to have a new beginning, new episode in your life by encountering the love of God. Friends, God is real, and you will know His love through Jesus.